Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to do a pick a card. Just flex those intuitive muscles a little bit. All right, we're going to be pulling from the Herbal Tarot. All right, and I'll be using the supplemental book, The Spirit of the Herbs by Michael Tierra and Candace Canton. Don't mind me, I'm still wearing retainers. So I do sound a little lifty and I can't say certain words, but if you need to, pause the video, okay? There'll be an affirmation at the end of each one, all right? As well as a little description that's kind of beautiful. And any of the words that are in it could trigger whatever it is that you're dealing with at this time, okay? You'll just get intuitive nudges. We have card A, card B, and card C here, all right? Focus on the options, feel it and see it in your mind's eye. Whichever, in whatever order calls to you, has your message, insight, or confirmation at this time. So I'll give you a moment to pause the video if you need to. All right, if card A called to you, we have Justice. You could be or are dealing with a Libra. There we go. Actually, okay, so there might be a sense of balance at the moment, okay? Or at least good karma coming your way, or just karma being balanced in general in a situation. There may be a need for better inner balance at this time. Time for work and action, balancing health habits, a need to discriminate as to what is best for self, a need to create one's joy, taking responsibility for actions and relationships, looking at another side of an issue, looking at the pros and cons, and a need to cut away any unnecessary baggage. A little karma clearing here, okay? Justice emerges out of the dense forest of darkness and confusion, holding the crystal of light in one hand and the scales of balance in the other. The displayed sword symbolizes the unqualified search for truth. Her outer cape of red represents strength and power, and the inner gown of pink expresses her compassion. Justice, ruled by Libra, represents our internal need for equilibrium. She is the faithful Divine Mother preserving us and maintaining our health physically, emotionally, and spiritually. She protects those things which are important to us, and with her sword she carves off what is useless and worn out. Justice is the appreciation and understanding of the laws of nature. When we are in harmony with these laws, we are protected in all ways. When we are in disharmony, pain and personal discomfort arise. Justice teaches us how through work and action we can cultivate health for body, mind, spirit, by being discriminating in the choices we make for ourselves. She wants to take us toward our innermost joy. The affirmation on this card: by creating greater balance within, I create more joy in my life. All right, if card B called to you, we have the Nine of Swords. Perhaps there are nightmares happening, or fears, or just worries in general. We'll see. All right, you could have Mars Gemini as a placement, or be dealing with someone or a situation that would have that, okay? Could be anybody. Or you might need to follow your Mars placement at this time, or anywhere where Gemini is highly aspected in your chart might have something to do with this, okay? Warming up to the self, moving from self-judgment to self-acceptance, shame and regret, need to acknowledge one's basic goodness. A woman sits with her hands over her face. Her gray robe is indicative of her mood. She feels guilty and judges herself too harshly. She is not looking at what is good and admirable in herself, but instead she has created in her mind the idea that she's not good enough, or kind enough, or just plain isn't enough. Even if mistakes have been made, acknowledge them and be grateful for the lessons. The ability to look inward and examine the self is a virtuous characteristic. It may be necessary to use this tool now and make some new resolutions. This should not be done in a judgmental way that throws one into deep lamentation, grief, or shame. Acknowledge the accomplishments in your life. Do not be afraid to see the good in your heart and deeds. All too infrequently do we truly let go of self-judgments, For self-judgment is an indication of an unhealthy ego that is afraid to view the true self and its splendor. The affirmation on this card: I fully acknowledge my goodness and worth, for I am a child of divine spirit. And if card C called to you, you have the Ace of Swords. Ooh, maybe some truth. This is also a yes answer. This could be communication coming in. You could be dealing with the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or R1. This is also victory and confirmation for someone, all right? There may be a sense of clarity of mind, expansion of thoughts, assessing the situation and making decisions, upholding inner truths, a need to think in a more positive way. An angelic hand piercing the cloud grasps the hilt of a double-edged sword, which supports a celestial crown. This card symbolizes the expansion of thoughts, enlightenment, and illumination. There is a need to have clarity of mind and to affirm inner truths. As with all two-edged swords, there is another side. One must watch that actions, determination, and strength do not turn into excessive use of force, excessive thinking, or extremes in desires. Otherwise, the end result will be weakness, instability, nervous energy, and self-destruction. With the Ace of Swords, one should strive to allow creative and inspired ideas to burst forth. The potential for peaceful resolution, unbiased thoughts, and clarity of mind are now in the forefront. This is a time when complete self-acceptance and acceptance of others are possible. Through meditation and conscious living, inner peace and contentment can be attained. The affirmation on this card: I use the clarity of my thoughts to bring me peace and illumination.